Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is ThePromG. Welcome back to a brand new video. What for you guys today is a manga shopping video. Now, it has been several months since I've done a video similar to this. Last time I did, I believe, was around 7 or 8 months ago, so it's been a while. But now that I'm back from college for the summer, I have constant access to all of my favorite local bookstores that I usually go for looking for used manga. So I decided that's what we're going to do today in this video. The plan for today is to hit 4 different bookstores. First up, we have my local half-price books, and the other 3 places are local hobby stores called Jay's Seating Hobby. There are a few locations in Iowa, including the last place that we're going today, which is a location that I did not even know existed until yesterday, so I'm very excited to go check it out. Now, the half-price bookstore that I go to doesn't allow you to record inside the store, which is kind of a bummer, so I won't have any footage for that store, but I will be getting some footage from the 3 Jay's Seating Hobby locations that we visit today in this video, so hopefully we find some great stuff, and hopefully I won't come away from today's trip empty-handed. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this manga shopping video. If you guys do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so here we are at the first Jay's Seating Hobby location. This one is the one I go to most frequently as it's pretty close to my house, and it's had some absolutely insane finds for me to pick up in the past. As you can see here, we have some Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt volumes, which are some volumes that you don't really see in the wild too often. If I was collecting the series, I would have definitely picked these up because they're for a pretty good price. But alas, I'm not collecting the series at the moment, so I'll have to pass on these for now. The store also has a lot of really cool figures, especially some Dragon Ball figures, as well as this Yugi figure, which I think is super sick, a little bit rich for my blood, but you know, still pretty cool to see on the shelves. The next location that I visited, it was actually located inside a mall that's nearby my house, and this is kind of, you know, the sad malls that nobody really goes to, and as you can tell, there's not a whole lot of stuff here to choose from. A lot of random Tokyo Pop trash, so needless to say, the coolest thing I really saw here was this nice Sidonia volume, and yeah, that's kind of saying something. So last but definitely not least, here we are at the final Jay's Seating Hobby location. As you can see, this place is massive, has lots of manga, video games, comics, basically everything you can imagine. And here we are at the manga section, which had some absolutely amazing finds for your boy today. So yeah, you'll see it in the footage, but we came away with a lot of really cool finds today. Looks like here they have some new releases. I'm sure those would have gone for a retail price, so decided not to pick it up even though Rent a Girlfriend is kind of intriguing. Also, you can see the Shaman King Omnibus, which I personally prefer the single, so I didn't pick it up. But yeah, still pretty cool. Also have this Higurashi volume, which can sometimes go for some pretty big money. Really depends on the volume though, so I ended up putting that one back for now. And here is the clearance section of manga. Not too much stuff, had some iShield 21 volumes. And here is the anime section I decided to show off. They had a huge selection of anime. Here looks like some more new releases. And here is kind of the used section, which is absolutely massive, absolutely blew me away. Alright guys, so here we are back again at home base after a very, very successful day of manga shopping. The used stores had a lot of crazy, insane, rare, expensive, and interesting finds for your boy today. For this used manga haul, I picked up over 15 volumes, which is kind of crazy, way more than I ever thought I was going to pick up from these stores. But without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and look at what I got from the half-price books. Now, from half-price books, I didn't pick up too many things. I only got 2 books and another thing that I'll show. But the 2 volumes I did get are something that I'm very excited to read, and that's going to be volumes 1 and 2 of Aria. Aria is a series that I've heard really amazing things about, and I'm very excited to get into it after a very high recommendation from one of my friends, Manga over on Instagram. He hypes the series up very much and has me very interested to get into it. So I saw the first 2 volumes sitting on the shelf for $5 a volume, which is pretty fair for these volumes. And if I end up really enjoying what I read of these 2 volumes, I'll probably sell these off and collect these series through the Tokyo Pop Masterpiece Edition, I believe is what they're called. These really beautiful golden omnibuses, I guess. Very pretty volumes. I also don't think that this series got a full run in this single format. So I think that's my best bet. I'm going to give this series a try with these 2 volumes, and hopefully I really enjoy it like I think I will. And the other thing that I got from the half-price books is actually a Blu-ray, and a very special one at that. I decided to show off for this video real quick, but as the 30th anniversary edition of Blade Runner. As you can see, we have this nice little hardcover book here, as well as some artwork inside with 3 discs, including the theatrical cuts, the final cut, as well as some other stuff. Actually, I've never seen this movie, but this was pretty cheap, about $10-15, so I decided to pick it up. So moving on to the second location, we have the first Jay's CD and Hobby location that I went to. Ended up getting some pretty good finds at the store. And the first volume that I picked up at the store is the first volume of Psycho Pass. Psycho Pass is a pretty highly regarded anime that I actually have not watched, but I did know that there is a manga to it. But apparently, judging by the back, it says right there that it is a prequel to the anime, so I did not know that about the manga. I think this is like 4 or 5 volumes long. So yeah, maybe I'll have to collect the rest of this before I end up watching the anime, which I was planning on doing very soon. And the next volume that I picked up at the store is volume 2 of Ghost Hunt. Now, Ghost Hunt is a series that I know absolutely nothing about, other than the fact that some of the volumes are pretty rare, and of course, volume 2 is no exception. I'm not sure if Ghost Hunt has an anime or something, but for some reason, these volumes are pretty valuable, and I guess some people just want to pay pretty good amounts for these volumes. I don't know why. I've never even heard of Ghost Hunt other than the fact that this manga is pretty expensive. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to flip a decent profit for this volume. I picked up for like $3, so shouldn't be too hard. Now, the other volume that I picked up from this Jay's is actually the first omnibus of Lone Wolf and Cub, and as you can see, I don't have anything to show for you because I actually sold that omnibus to one of you guys who follow my Instagram over there. I put it up for sale after getting back from the store, and one of you guys snatched it up really quick. So yeah, I picked it up. Don't have it to show for you guys, but it's already been sold. Just a little perk for you guys who follow me on Instagram. I do sell a lot of my used manga there, so yeah, drop your boy a follow. And the last thing that I picked up at this Jay's location is actually not a manga volume, but rather a vinyl record box set. And this is one that's actually pretty hard to come by, pretty valuable one that's still shrink wrapped. Very cool to come across, and that is the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice vinyl record box set. I just want to take a minute to admire the packaging of this. It has this canvas box and amazing artwork on the back. Just absolutely beautiful packaging. As you guys can see here, is the heavyweight black edition. So there's a color edition which is worth like $300, and this one is worth around $170, $180. I believe the actual records are 180 grams, which is pretty heavy, so some good sound quality, I'm sure, on these. I'm going to be selling this. I got this for around $100, so again, I'll make a little bit of profit on this, but this is just so darn cool to have. Recently, I've been getting into vinyl, and though I would love to keep this, it's just kind of burning a hole in my pocket right now as a pretty hefty purchase. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to sell this for a little bit of a profit, though it will pay me to let go of this beautiful box set, but you know, it's just the way it is. Now moving on to the second location, the Jay's, that was in the mall. As you guys saw, they didn't have really much of anything. It's basically just typical Tokyo Pop trash that you'd find in the dumpster. I didn't really pick up anything from this particular location other than these 2 volume 10s of Rebirth. Now, it's not a particularly valuable volume of Rebirth. In fact, I think like only a handful have any substantial value to them. I decided to pick these up it's kind of a cool find. It's kind of saying something if Volumes of Rebirth is the coolest thing at this store. But yeah, I picked these up. They were dirt cheap. Figure what the hell. But moving on to the final J's location, the one that I didn't even know existed until yesterday. This is where the real finds were. As soon as I walked into the manga section, I was just immediately taken back by the amount of volumes they had, as well as some particular volumes that immediately caught my eye that I just had to pick up. So without further ado, let's get into what I picked up from this store. The first two volumes I picked up, the ones that I saw immediately and picked up right away, is going to be some volumes of Voyeur's Inc. As you can see here, we have volume 2 in plastic, and then we have volume 3. Now, as you guys know, a few months ago, I was kind of set on collecting all of the pulp manga series. And as you guys can see, these are indeed pulp manga, and this is one of the more rare series of the bunch. I believe this is like 4 volumes in length, but it's still a very expensive series to collect. Now, even though I've kind of set aside the goal of collecting all the pulp manga just because there's a lot of it and a lot of it that is extremely expensive, I may end up collecting this series just out of pure curiosity. I've heard very interesting things about this series in particular. At this moment in time, I can't really say for sure what I'm going to do with these 2 volumes, but still absolutely insane to find these in the wild. You just don't really see these anywhere, even online. So to find them at a used store that I didn't even know existed is just mind-blowing. Next up, we have a considerably less rare volume, and that is going to be volume 3 of One Piece. As you can see, is the gold foil edition. This was really cheap. This was like $2. I picked this up just because I always like picking up the gold One Piece volumes when I can find them just out in the wild. Even though I currently have a decent amount of the gold foil, I believe 1 through 14 at the moment, I probably won't keep them just because I have better conditioned volumes. These are just kind of yellowed and worn out, but still very cool to have. The next volume I picked up is volume 13 of Bamboo Blade. Now, this is a series that I've heard some things about, but I've never really given any interest or thought to, but I came across a good amount of volumes of this series at the store, and volume 13 just happened to be really the only rare volume that had any value to it at all. And I've thought about picking up this series in completion because I've heard some good things about it, and I've been looking for more of like a martial arts samurai kind of series, and I've heard this is a pretty good one, so decided to pick this up. Won't sell it right away, but I might end up just selling it if I decide not to pick up Bamboo Blade. If any of you guys have read these series, let me know in the comments below. Is it worth picking up, or is it one that I should just pass on? The next volume that I picked up is volume 4 of Blood Sea. Now, this volume in particular has some damage, and it's kind of going to be a recurring theme with volumes that I saw at the store. They had some really cool things, which I picked up still because they are pretty rare, but some of the volumes just had these damages that is really disappointing because it definitely hurts the value of it. But nevertheless, I picked them up because they are rare volumes. I can still probably get something out of them. Blood Sea volume 4 being no exception. As you can see, there's this like damage kind of torn off on the back where it meets the spine. Kind of disappointing. Other than that, it's in great condition, so I'm glad I was able to find this volume for a dirt cheap price, but still kind of a shame that it has this little bit of damage, but you know, what can you do? Next up, we have another pretty rare volume that has a little bit of damage as well, but no big deal. Here we have volume 13 of Reborn, aka Hitman Reborn, which I've actually been finding a lot of volumes of this recently. I recently found volume 7 and 8 at my local comic book store by my college, so I picked those up. I've had good luck with those, and now I was able to find volume 13, which is even more rare. Also, I just absolutely love this cover. It's gorgeous with the feathers, the spine, and the back. The back is actually where the damage lies. There's like a little bit of a crease. As you can see here, some bending and warping. And also this book has a considerable amount of yellowing on the pages, at least on the outside. Not in terrible condition, but obviously not in pristine condition like I would have liked. But you know, what can you expect from used shopping? I will definitely take it. Next up, we have another rare manga volume. This time, one that I actually know a little bit of something about. In fact, I've actually owned a copy of this completed series before, and that is volume 1 of Old Boy. Now, when I got my first set of Old Boy, I was really excited to own this series because I thought it was really cool, but it just reeked of cigarette smoke, so I ended up selling it off on like Reddit or eBay, I think. This one is in really good condition, all things considered. It doesn't have really any smell to it, but one thing that's very interesting is that if you look at the back, I think that this manga has been sitting on that shelf since 2013, which, if that's true, that is absolutely nuts. Maybe that sticker was just left on from a past store. I don't know, but regardless, really cool volume to find. I know some people have also found some Old Boy volumes in the wild at their local stores. Yeah, it's really cool to find this. I don't think I'll complete this series again, but still something really cool to find. Now, next up, we have probably the rarest volume that I was able to find in any of these stores, but sadly, it had some damage. As you can see here, we have a volume of Higurashi, the Eye-Opening Arc Volume 2. Higurashi When They Cry is a series that continues to baffle me. Some of these volumes are stupidly expensive, while other ones are just dirt cheap. They have a bunch of omnibuses that are mad expensive. I don't know why. For some reason, this series is severely out of print, and people are willing to pay big bucks for this series, including this volume right here. Now, the damage in question, if you guys couldn't tell, is that this is ripped right here, the front cover, as well as some of these pages. Hopefully you guys can see. I took the liberty of taping this up, which might be considered like a sin in the book community, I don't know, but this chunk was just dangling off, so I decided it was best. It makes the damage a lot less noticeable in my opinion. Yeah, it just holds it together as well, so this thing wasn't falling apart. It's for the best. I'm still gonna sell this, not for as much as this volume usually sells for, but hopefully I'll be able to turn a little bit of a profit on this very rare Higurashi volume. And the last volume of manga that I picked up for this used manga haul is not the most expensive or rare volume, but is instead one of the most interesting ones I think I picked up in this entire haul, and that is volume 1 of Baron Gong Battle. Now, it would not surprise me in the slightest if any of you guys have never heard the series. I had never heard the series before I saw it on the shelf, but I was flipping through the artwork and I realized this looks really cool and extremely familiar. Come to find out that the series was actually created by Masayuki Taguchi, who is behind the infamous series Battle Royale. As soon as I saw this volume, I knew I had to have it. Just judging off the cover and the description on the back, it looks like a mixture of Hellsing and Jagan. I mean, it just looks absolutely insane. The artwork is beautiful, and I'm really excited to get into this first volume to see what I think. As you can see here, right in the first pages, we have some violins. This looks absolutely ridiculous. Even though this series is the literal definition of obscure, I am hoping this one will not let me down. Anyways, guys, that is all the manga I picked up from this used manga shopping video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy seeing all the things I picked up. And if you want more of these videos, definitely leave a comment and a like to let me know that you want to see more of these shopping videos. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga views just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, hope to catch you in the next one.